Here we go. Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
You're listening to the Mean Geek, comics podcasting on the very ragged, raw, leading edge of friggin' civility.
Alright, and welcome to the probably incredibly unlucky episode 13 of The Mean Geek, comics podcasting on the edge of civility. I'm your almost host, the Tech Jedi. With me as always is the Rev Mad Duck.
I want you bitches to know, by the way, that I felt restrained last time, and I do not feel so this time. So be forewarned, you're getting 100% unalterated, unadulterated, unsatisfied, unsober, Reverend Mad Duck. So bless you fuckers and pay attention.
Woo! Right. We found out some interesting... we do our normal shout-outs, I suppose. You can find us, as always, at www.themeangeek.com. You can find us on Podcast Alley. Do a quick search for The Mean Geek. And you can also find us on Podcast Alley just the same way.
That's what you just said, dude.
Huh? Podcast Alley?
Twice.
iTunes.
There you go.
My good buddy from New York Comic Con, Ian Levinstein, still hasn't answered my email about getting on the Comics Podcast Network. But I guess it's all the same because he's never going to fucking hear this. So.
We are the unloved and unwashed podcast.
Little New York bastard. So anyway. Kurtz has moved.
Remember, in Connecticut,
it's Kurtz. Kurtz Comics has moved to 85 Schoolhouse Drive in Brantford. It's just a short hop from the Chowder Pot, where we can, after we buy comics, we can get rocked the fuck out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's what we do.
Fried seafood, occasionally karaoke, and plenty of liquor.
Because that's really what we're all about. Despite the comic thing, it's the booze.
That's what brings me to the table.
And what are we drinking tonight there, Rep?
Well, as a special gift, I picked up some Sam Adams Imperial Series Double Buy.
Which means that the Tech Jedi may or may not be driving home tonight. So, why don't we just jump right in, huh? We got some good news today.
No?
Depending on your perspective.
What is this news?
Cap is coming back.
Cap?
Captain America, Steve fucking Rogers. Even though he would never say that because he's a stand-up guy.
I say fucking. I stand up all the time.
Yeah, well, you're usually stumbling about at that point, so.
Also true.
Alright, so, I did not know this was happening. I thought Reborn might maybe be Cap.
Really? You thought Captain America and Reborn might be the actual Cap?
Well, that ad was only a star and the word Reborn, so what the fuck are you going to think?
What else would you think than that?
Yeah, that's yeah. So, but there was a theory running around that it was something to do with the Ultimate Universe. And I was kind of not really with that, but it seemed to fit. I don't know.
I thought it might be D-Man.
Nah, you were totally wrong about D-Man, and you really didn't think it was D-Man.
I always bring up D-Man.
You just bring up D-Man way too fucking much, dude. D-Man... kids, D-Man was a late 80s character who had a costume reminiscent of early 60s Daredevil. And he was like the Bibbo. He was like Captain America's Bibbo, man. You talking about my friend Cap?
Now, be fair. He was an Avenger. He was in the super-powered wrestling league.
He was, but that doesn't change the fact that he really couldn't give Bibbo much of a run in the, IQ department.
And now, last I knew, he lives in a sewer as the sewer superhero.
Can anybody verify that? Should we look up D-Man and find out?
Do you remember back with the George Perez revamp when they had all the Avengers come back? He came out of the sewer with the beard.
No, I totally don't remember that.
Always forgetting. Always down on the D-man you are.
Yeah, well, you're always up on the D-man.
I don't like the way that sounds.
Yeah, well, that was the point. So, it kind of pissed me off because I felt like I was in the same position I was 2 years ago for Cap 25.
What's that?
Big change. Oh, look, it's happening fucking today. I had to send a buddy of mine from work who left an hour and a half before me to Newberry Comics up in Manchester to see if she could get a couple of copies for me so I might actually receive them.
Did she?
She said she would, but I don't know yet.
Did you call Kurt?
Well, Kurt's not open today. He said he was going to get his shipment Wednesday like normal. So he said he'd have some reserve, but I trust the guy and I love him like a brother, but I ain't taking the same fucking chance. This is a big book. It's an important book. They're laying the seeds for Cap's return in the miniseries starting in July, Rebirth, or Reborn.
Cap's going to be a plant?
No, man. You can do better than that.
It's early yet.
Yeah, well, anyway. It's a 5-issue arc, after which, or during which, the regular Captain America book is going on hiatus till at least November.
Interesting. Now, is Brubaker doing the Reborn?
That I'm going to look up on Newsarama here and double check real quick.
I know Cassidy is doing the art.
Right?
And Quesada is editing.
Uh-huh. Where's... Oh, you know what 601's going to have? Gene Colan.
Wow.
Yeah. That's quite impressive. Let's
Little
see.
Tomb of Dracula action coming at
Oh, or a little, early 70s Doctor Strange.
you. And, a lot of early 70s action.
Yeah.
Some Daredevil, too, in that period, if I recall.
Oh, no, it's Brubaker and Hitch, along with Butch Geist.
Well, I think Cassidy.
Which I still want. Well, he might be doing the covers. He loves to do covers. But I keep wanting to say Guise.
Goose.
Yeah.
Just call him Goose. Same
Goose.
time.
You're dangerous, Goose. Oh, Maverick. Whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Everybody liked Goose. That's right. I am dangerous.
So we got some things here. I pulled this off of Newsarama. There's my credit for Newsarama. I'm not claiming that this is any innovative thing that I made up myself.
Which is good because I have no idea what you're talking about at this point.
Well, there's an article here.
Okay.
Winners and losers, Captain America Reborn. Who benefits and who doesn't from this little event?
Well, Marvel.
Well, besides that.
Sharon Carter.
Yeah, she's top of the list.
Hey!
You didn't even look.
I have not read this list. I have no idea what we're talking about. Who Bucky does not benefit?
Well, he's a winner and a loser.
Well, that's true in many levels. Who benefits? D-Man benefits.
D-Man, strangely, is not on the fucking list.
D-Man, the forgotten hero.
We should totally comment on it, put him on the list.
Who else benefits?
Quickly.
Tony Stark.
Yes, he is a winner on the list.
Yes! 2 for, well, let's be honest, I figured D-Man wasn't on there. I'm 2.5. Alright.
Woof.
Edit at
840.
Alright, does Nick Fury benefit?
Nick Fury is totally not on the list.
Okay, that's actually an oversight on the list.
Yes, I think it is. Because if Cap comes back, he might be able to influence enough people to oust Osborn and get him his job back.
Alright, alright, so give me the actual list now.
Alright, so, winner, Sharon Carter. She's been through the ringer past couple of years. She's all kinds of fucked up. Mind control, kidnapping, loss of a child. But, Cap coming back frees her from the prison of her own making. She, you know they're gonna drag that out for like 12 issues. Oh my God, Cap, I'm not worthy. going to be some whining out of Sharon.
It's a complex relationship.
Yes, it is.
Alright, who's second?
The next winner is Tony fucking Stark. His greatest struggles are defined by guilt. Would you agree with that?
Well, most of my greatest struggles are defined by inebriation, but yeah, I would say guilt on the top.
Well, see, that's the next sentence. Whether it's retreating into a bottle when S.H.I.E.L.D. tried forcing him to create weapons, or hunting down armored heroes and villains to stop the proliferation of his Iron Man tech. There's
Armor Wars 1 and 2, read them now.
great, great, great stuff. Worth every page. With Steve Rogers' returns, the crack in Iron Man's armor might actually, seal up, and he's got the guilt.
Yeah.
Steve coming back might be able to put him back together.
Well, of all the choices he made, Steve one is the only one who feels really bad about.
True. So, now, I wasn't expecting this one, and I'm not sure it's really all that relevant.
Dum Dum Dugan?
No. Clint Barton. He got the Avengers leadership like he always wanted from the very fucking beginning. But, is he really leadership material? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think Clint...
I hate Hawkeye.
Well, Hawkeye's a bit of a jackass.
I mean, I remember the freaking Hawkeye miniseries where he was fighting evil jugglers. And I remember John Byrne's West Coast Avengers where he was hanging in California, fighting crime with mimosas.
Mimosas.
And to be fair, I'm a big Green Arrow fan, so Hawkeye annoys me on several levels, but just never down with that character.
Well, Clint might able? Hi, how are you? Clint
Fine.
could get out of the... I'm doing all right. Maybe a little too all right. Hi. Clint could get out of what is potentially a bad situation for him, because he might make some really bad decisions as a leader.
Well, he's already calling himself Ronin, and
and that's a bad
woman
idea.
named Echo. I mean,
yeah, that's not everything it could be. But think about it. It could put him in a position again where he could just sit there and be a jackass to whoever's in charge again, probably Cap. And he always did a good job with that. That he could do. He could shoot arrows and pick on the big guy.
Hawkeye, nature's jackass.
So then we go, now, I'm not sure I agree with this. I think it's just kind of jackassy.
Winners or losers?
These are still winners. It's so jackassy. Every time I look through previews or some house ads for IDW or just about anybody really, I think the guy's going to do what he needs to do, and I think he's going to do fine. But if I see Barack Obama on one more fucking comic book cover, I'm going to burn down the shop I see it in.
Well, he has his own comic book.
Yeah, I know. But does he have to be on every fucking thing? Have you seen how many books he's on?
No.
Yeah, well, you'd shit yourself.
No again. But Barack Obama wins if...
Yeah, he's the one-man comics bailout machine. If there's anyone appropriate of welcoming Steve back, I think it'd be this guy. This is the writer of the article speaking, not Tech Jedi. Because I'm a great big jackass, and I get easily annoyed with overexposure.
You feel Barack Obama's overexposed?
In the comics industry, yes.
That wacky president and his antics.
Now, here's a curious entry here. Both winner and loser. Steve himself. On the one hand, he's fucking alive again.
Yeah, it's a quick win.
But then, he's been in some kind of captivity for the last Marvel year. And, he must be pretty fucked up in the head, even for Cap.
Cap is
no, that's what I'm saying. It would be one of the first times Cap would, in fact, be fucked in the head. So that could be very weird. Imagine, he already lost decades. Now he's got to lose another year again.
If you put him in a year in prison, he's going to spend the entire time categorizing his stamp collection in his head alphabetically. All right, we're not talking about somebody who's going to get upset about being in a jail cell. And for the record, since he was revived in the 50s, 60s, he's been in prison cells a lot at one time or another.
Well, for very short periods, you know.
True, because he breaks
whenever
out,
he pissed
you know.
off a president, whenever he hacked off Congress, he's had his share of arrests. He's got a rap sheet.
uniform away.
Yeah, well, that was a great one too. Not so hot on the U.S. agent as a result, but what are you gonna do?
Hey, who doesn't want to?
Message received.
Oh, for God's sake!
Now,
Now, 1510. But poor Cappy here, man. How many characters have been through just exactly how many fucking revamps as he has? They had the poor guy.
Superman.
Well, no, he's always been Clark Bloody Kent.
Oh, I think it's revamps. I mean, we're talking like
Yeah, totally different character, totally different people portraying him.
Oh, Batman.
Batman? He's always been Bruce.
As real.
Well, that's one. Boom, 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 boom.
Battle for the Cowl has another 42.
Okay,
options.
that's two. Oh no, that's done.
Yeah.
It's over.
But you had Jason Todd, you had...
Well, you had potentials who were trying, but
And they were wearing the uniform.
at the end of the story, there was a replacement, and it is Dick. So, what are you going to do? But no, they had that psychopath in the 50s.
Oh, for Cat?
Yeah. In the Atlas Timely stuff, where they just didn't know what in the hell to do with him now. Even though the 50s would have been a perfect time for him. Going, communism?
Who doesn't want to punch a communist?
Nobody doesn't want to punch a communist. I want to punch a communist. I find a communist tomorrow, I'm going to punch him in the neck.
Where's the wise communist?
Stay the fuck away from the tech Jedi. You know what? Fuck communism.
Thank you, Garth Ennis and Preacher. Alright,
So, where were we? We were saying,
Cap.
imagine what'll happen when Norm drops the hammer on Steve's resistance. I don't know.
Is there still a resistance when Steve comes back, or does it go
See?
immediately mainstream?
That's a really excellent question. And I think Cap is going to stand up just the way he always has.
I mean, Captain America on your side is pretty much instant legitimacy.
Yeah, which is... Norman will probably try to court him.
It's like having the Pope buy your record album. He's probably going to get sale.
It's never going to work, though. There's no way Osborn's going to convince him to come around. He wants his day in court, just like he did. I think he'll come back and start spouting that exact same shit.
Yeah, but you know what?
Not that, it's a proper thing to be doing, but...
We don't know where Cap has been. What Cap has been through, because how many times has Captain America chosen making the peace over standing up for those moments?
Oof.
Like, a crime wasn't committed. We're talking about errors in judgment and different sides in a moral argument.
Yeah.
Other than Osborn, how many guys actually committed crimes in the sequence? So would Cap go the forgive and forget route and just let's get past this, or would he go for his day in court? You see what I'm saying?
Well, the Patriot. Little slip there, huh?
The Patriot
The red-
has nothing to do with comic books.
The Iron Patriot acts.
I'm gonna hit you with a butt.
Luckily, I didn't think that one up. That was an in-house ad, man. That's a Marvel in-house ad. I didn't think that shit up. Fucking Casada authorizing all this shit.
Well, obviously it worked. Anyway.
But yeah, the Superhuman Registration Act is still in effect. The initiative is in shambles, but the law is still the law.
Well, slapstick's in the initiative. Of course it's in fucking shambles.
Too fucking true.
I wouldn't hire that hero to wash my car.
All right, I think we lost steam on that one. So
All right,
another
moving on to
winner,
Cat, too.
another winner loser is Bucky himself. Now, he's finally come into his own. He's started being Cat himself. He's done a pretty decent job, I think.
I've enjoyed the read so far.
Yeah, nothing wrong with what Bucky's doing. But what's it say here? You know, Cat being back's a good feeling for him, but you know, it's the whole concept of Cap and Steve that really, you know, got him where he was going. You know, I mean, if he didn't have, you know, Cap's memory to work from, he might still be an assassin. He might have gave up on everything and flipped burgers. You know, I can't be entirely certain.
Plus, without Cap, he has been semi-suicidal in a couple of different...
Yes. So, but if he does come back, you know, well, when he does come back, is Bucky going to celebrate and be relieved, or is he going to be like, I was finally getting somewhere, and now what the fuck?
No, of course he's going to celebrate. It's Cap.
Well, yeah, I mean, I like to think that, but, you know, I'm making the argument that Newsarama is.
No, I stand by my course.
No, I think he's going to be just fine with it myself.
Yeah.
But, now...
Then become the summer soldier, wear some flowers in his hair, go to San Francisco, play bass with the Grateful Dead.
Now, I don't think I've been paying enough attention to what's going on there, because I have no idea who the fuck Isaiah Bradley is. Perfect. I guess he was
anything else, or does it just say the word Isaiah Bradley?
Well, no, I mean, it doesn't explain who the fuck he is. I mean, I guess he's a failure in the super soldier serum, but... Oh, wait, isn't Isaiah Bradley the one from Truth?
That's what I was thinking, the Kyle Baker.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, because it does say Kyle Baker in here. So that must be, but he wasn't really a factor. He had that one story.
Yeah, but Truth is a great read.
Oh, I'm not debating its quality. It was a great read. But he hasn't really been a factor since that story.
That's going on 3-4 years now?
Yeah, at least 4, yeah.
Oh, and Flash has had more than Cap.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. So, now, loser, and I agree with this wholeheartedly, whether it involves Cap or not, Hank
Bartok the Leaper!
No, it's not Batroc the Leaper.
Oh, Batroc.
Bartok is an artist, man. Bartok is... he wrote operas, man.
Still warranting being made fun of. Anyway.
Hank fucking Pym. Oh, yeah, he's a fucking loser.
Isn't he banging Tiger now?
Yeah, as a matter of fact. Now, he got to lead his own
Does that make
version.
him a furry?
Yes, it does.
Oh,
It totally
filthy.
makes Hank Pym a furry.
Oh, that's just disgusting.
Yeah, well, you know, Hank Pym has not exactly ever been the greatest stand-up guy you've ever wanted to meet. So...
Well, apparently you can stand up when something's covered in fur.
Ew.
For those of our listeners who are furries, stop being our listeners.
we really don't need furries listening to us. I mean,
I don't want you to think
if
I'm
that's the
judging
kind
you.
of support you get, we're just gonna fucking smash this laptop right now. Never make another fucking podcast again, because you guys are goddamn creepy.
If you've ever banged a teddy bear, I want you to know that I'm not judging you. I just hate you. I told you I'd be on tonight, folks. Why don't you listen?
So, Hank kind of got a chance to be a good guy. You know, he's got his own Mighty Avengers whole thing, and they're kind of like, fuck you, normie! But,
Really? Is that what they're like?
well, pretty much, yeah. One of the worst parts about the whole secret invasion thing for him was the imposter earned the spotlight. And, you know, he always wanted that shit.
I just
he
want to point
totally
out
wanted to be in
that
charge.
Skrull Hank Pym was a far more successful hero than Hank Pym.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he was.
Skrull Hank Pym had his shit together, whereas Hank Pym was like, yeah, I like chicks with hair everywhere.
Okay, that's enough with the furries. Wow. But with Cap back, you know, Hank not only has to acknowledge that he's back, but that Cap has at least as much right to run any Avengers team as he did. And almost certainly more so. Agree? That part's mine. That's out of Newsarama now. I'm away from that part now.
Well,
that's
once
me.
we hit furries, I figured
Yeah, we were way off. And of course, another loser is OG, the Red fucking Skull. He's living in an Arnim Zola robot suit, which is never a good fucking thing.
I thought he was a figment in the Russian general's imagination.
Well, that's another thing that kind of confused me. So we'll just move on from that point.
Is Zola the one who has a face for a chest and a freaking
Yes,
TV antenna for
that's the one. Arnim freaking Zola. The Prussian scientist. So,
Just remember, boys and girls, Jack Kirby was an absolute genius,
but he did enough drugs to kill a small horse.
every time you think genius, you also have
Drugs.
antenna for a head and the dingbats with dangerous breed. So,
Yeah, people forget about the dingbats, don't they?
yeah,
Oh yeah, they do.
own it.
They do retrospectives, but you never see the dingbats in Mocha, do you?
You have the dingbats with dangerous
I know I have the dingbats of Dangerous
Thank
Street.
you, Bill.
I'm never going to debate the quality of the dingbats of Dangerous Street, but nobody else remembers them. You know, you go to the Museum of Cartooning and Comic Book Art, you go to their little expo, they have a retrospective for Kirby. They're not showing the dingbats. They're not. They're showing you Silver Surfer, they're showing you Fourth World, they're showing you New Gods. The
Fantastic
dingbats are never going to be there. So, alright, the Grand Director.
Excuse me?
Yeah, exactly. I've been reading the current Cap storyline for a year.
Yeah.
I have no idea who the fuck the Grand Director is. Is he one of the AIM guys? The
I've
Hydra
heard it, but
guys?
You don't want to hear him.
Oh boy.
I have no clue.
Well, no, I don't know. So, fuck the Grand Director. We don't give a shit what he's happy about or not. And of course, they got Norman as a loser here.
Well, sure.
And, you know, because he turned Tony into a traitor. He tarnished Cap's, you know, once mighty shiny visage. And, we're probably, what I'm thinking, in 600, because I'm not reading this all together. I'm not reading this topic all the way because it's got kind of spoilers.
Okay.
And I kind of want to know and I kind of don't want to know. And even though we are a spoiler podcast, this could be very interesting and I want to leave it alone. This Iron Patriot image is going to come back to bite him in the ass when Cap shows him what the fucking Patriot's all about. You know?
Well, you know, anybody who thought Norman was going to sit on top of the world for a long period of time was probably playing short odds.
And did you hear about Colbert? Stephen Colbert?
Yeah, but
Did you hear they had a little thing there where apparently he was the recipient of the shield in Cap's will?
oh dear God.
There's a little video. It's pretty humorous, but the fucker's got to give it back now. And the loser, the last loser, is whoever was
John Stewart?
No. Whoever was in that casket at the end of Fallen Sun 5. So, they dropped Steve in the ocean where they found him.
Right.
So, is it an empty casket? In the actual grave?
No, of course not.
Yeah, well, who's there?
Dude, there's only one person you put in the casket.
Yeah, baby?
D-Man.
Oh, Jesus, jumped up Christ. You are on a fucking D-Man tear today. They'd have to retcon it, because who the fuck, nobody saw D-Man die.
Well, fine. You want a dead guy? Put Happy Hogan in there. Who gives a shit? Throwing a body in a casket ain't the hardest fucking aspect.
Oh, that was funny. And that's what
Who was that gay Jewish dude that died in Cap books when friggin'
What? Who?
Mike Zeck was on it?
When the fuck was that?
when Mike Zack was on it.
That was 20 fucking years ago.
Exactly. Throw that guy in there.
I don't... Throw what? That freaking dust of his bones in there? It's been 20 years!
You want a dead guy that appeared in Cap? I'm just throwing out the options.
So, I wonder... What else should we talk about Cap? CNN even got in on the action. Can you believe that?
That is a tad shocking. But, it's... Cap is huge. It's like soup.
What?
It's like Superman.
Oh, soups. I was like, soup? What did you do? Like, cream of fucking tomato? What did you...
I don't know if I'd compare Cap to cream of tomato personally, but if you want to go that route, you can go right ahead. I believe we have a pile today too.
Yeah, we got a little pile. We're gonna do an abbreviated pile today because it's getting late and there's much beer to drink. We're gonna start off with Legacy, Star Wars Legacy 36.
Oh, good.
Yeah, this one's finally gotten interesting with these little attacks with the many competing factions. But these guys flip-flop more than... Jesus, I don't know what in the hell. This story is more banged up than... And I heard this today. I wish I could claim it as my own. But somebody's going to say, I heard that on... This storyline is more banged up than Lindsay Lohan's car collection.
That is a good line. And, no, I'm sorry. I don't enjoy these books currently. I don't follow them. The weird political things with races and policies I don't understand.
It's the flip-flopping killed me.
I just want to see fucking a Wookiee with a bowcaster shoot a stormtrooper and jump into a smuggling ship and fly away. Instead, I get races I've never heard of and shit that I don't understand. Alright? Dump your cast into a trash compactor. Give me something I can work with. Right.
This thing has gotten incredibly convoluted.
Tag and Bink made it.
I loved Tag and Bink. Tag and Bink were just... They're just goof-ups. They're fun little goof-ups. So, probably no more Legacy after this. I'm going to end this arc, call it the fuck even. If this arc ever fucking ends. Now, here's a new one we're trying out here with Jim Starlin. Strange Adventures. Sinar shatters through. Now, it was nice to see old Adam Strange in there.
Not overly.
Well, there's nothing wrong with Adam Strange.
Adam Strange is a superhero that at any given point can disappear to go to a different planet.
Which is bad how?
Well, alright, let's say that I'm rescued by Superman.
Yeah.
And he flies me home.
Yes.
I'm okay with that because I know he's going to be there when I land. Let's say Adam Strange rescued me and flies me home. And decides to disappear to Ron mid-fucking flight. And I'm a spectacle on the side of a wall somewhere. Alright. Here we have a man with no actual powers other than a incredibly tacky sense of dress, space boots, a space gun, and
There's
a
nothing
space
wrong with
hat.
space gun. Don't talk about space guns. Space guns are just fucking fine. I want a space gun.
And that proves my point dramatically. No, Adam Strange is a classic character, of course. I'm not knocking the origins, but it's a character that's been very hard to translate, and I don't feel that Jim Starlin did an amazing job. And the reappearance of the Weird...
Did you ever expect that?
Apparently he's been around once or twice since then.
Yeah, well,
However, those of you who have not read the original 4-issue miniseries of The Weird
yeah.
should check that out.
Yeah, it could be interesting. It was odd. Because I really wasn't going to say weird there.
Good save.
But, you know, blue chicks are hot. Yellow chicks are almost as hot.
We're very different people.
Yes, we are. But they got boobies. What are you going to do? Yellow, blue, it's all the same. Then they got a Bizarro backup story. What'd you think of that?
I really didn't.
You didn't read it, or you didn't think, or you
I
just
got
didn't
through
like
it.
it?
What? Bizarro finds a space station?
Well, I mean, it was going to happen eventually.
DC meets fucking,
Yeah.
Christ, I'm drawing a blank. Not Deep Space Nine. What the?
Babylon 5.
Thank you. Oh my god, I can't believe I couldn't think of that. Well, I have been drinking. No,
Yeah.
it just felt like Babylon 5 episode where like, oh my god, an incredibly dumb, incredibly violent, powered alien has shown up. How can we control this situation?
I really wish they hadn't called it Hardcore Station, though.
Admittedly, that would mean more for Tigra.
I told you to leave them furries alone, man.
Dude, if you can't pick on a furry, there's no point in being on the internet. You can
That's a very
officially
good
put
point.
that on my fucking business card.
I'll put it on the website. Yeah. As a matter of fact, that's going to be the title of this episode. If you can't pick on a furry, there's no point in being on the internet. Remember that. So now we get to something that might actually, be entertaining and worthwhile. That being Captain America 50. So, it jumps right the fuck into the action. And it's got rockets flying around the city and Bucky avoiding them with very acrobatic skills like always. But it's the poor guy's birthday. And he hasn't had a birthday in like 70 fucking years.
The poor Buckster.
So they recount his origin. And apparently he was a bit of a little shit.
Yeah, but that's been clear. Pretty much, the one thing you gotta give him is that if you go back over the last couple of years and all the retro Cap stories and Cap things that have had Bucky in him, he's always been an uppity little shit.
I didn't say uppity, but it fits. It's accurate. He was pretty uppity. He's just running around camp. Oh, they adopted me. Oh.
Punching out Marines at age 7 or whatever the hell he was doing.
Well, even Marines aren't going to beat up a 7-year-old, so what was he going to do?
Dude, you know plenty of Marines that if a 7-year-old punched him in the mouth would happily beat up a 7-year-old.
Well, and not to disparage any of those serving right now, Lord knows my cousin is a Marine, and although I think he picked one of the worst jobs ever to eventually leave the Marines with, being an artilleryman.
Well, no, there's a lot of call for that.
Where? Blackwater?
And then the Marines. It's just, as long as you don't leave, you're fine.
Yeah, okay. So, but not to disparage anyone serving. I served. I was happy to serve. But Marines the few, yeah, okay, they can be proud, but they're few because it's hard to find that many people that fucking dumb. Have you met Marines?
A couple. I've never met one that I thought was particularly dumber than anybody else.
Oh, I've met dozens of really dumb Marines.
I've met dumb army guys. I've met plenty of dumb civilians.
Well, I mean, that's the inter-service rivalry there.
There you go. All right. Well, that I'll give you. No, I don't feel that one project is any dumber than the other. My simple point is that I don't care what service you're in. If a 15-year-old punches you in the mouth, you're probably gonna clock him. And I feel that's valid. I don't care if you're a Marine, Navy, Air Force. You could be a whack.
Whack.
If a 15-year-old walks up and clocks you, you're gonna be like, fuck you, I'm in uniform, I'm punching the shit out of your young ass.
So he's running around, beating up Marines at 7 years old.
It's a philosophy.
Yeah, if you say so. So, they keep going through his origin. They go through the first missions. He's sitting there with a Tommy gun going to town. And that's all in flashback. They run back story-wise for 2 whole pages about these guys chasing him. He takes him out with the shield. He's really learning that fucking shield pretty well.
Well, you know, he's got a robot arm and he's half Russian. He knows lots of shit now.
And then they flash back again to a nice little conversation where they want to go to the bar. And that's something about Steve. They can't make up his mind.
What do you mean?
Well,
if
he says, let's take Bucky to the bar. And then he's otherwise, drinking. He didn't even know what an anesthesiast was in that Peter David story.
Well, here's the thing. I think in the 40s, Steve was okay with drinking. Because it was okay to drink in the 40s.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's just as okay to drink today.
I know it's just okay. But I think Steve Rogers is a lot like most of my ex-girlfriends. Because history gets recreated in their favor every time I talk to them.
So he takes him to the bar.
What I know happened didn't necessarily happen in that conversation.
And they follow him right up till he fell off the bomb and into the ocean, and the Russians picked him up.
Yeah.
They go back through his reconstruction. Diddly bop back to. Oh, diddly bop bop. Wish I was back on the block.
Moving on rapidly.
It's a cadence. It's a marching cadence. So he's tearing up the city and just waiting for damage control to show up after he's done.
I miss damage control.
He just wants to get home and relax. Poor fucker.
It's his birthday.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he gets there, and the entire Avengers team is there, ready to go. And he's got 8 bajillion candles on that cake.
Well, he's not young.
But, I was waiting for Spidey to say something about his age, but I guess that wasn't to be. And then they go through another recap with very retro art. It was
It's a fun little read. It's
Yeah,
a filler issue, basically.
yeah. It wasn't bad. I liked it. And then they got fucking Fred Hembeck. Is that guy ever going to die?
And why would you want him to? Anytime Fred Hembeck draws the Hulk, I laugh for a good 45 minutes.
Well, you'll be quite happy with next week's batch then. Because he's in there.
Alright, anytime that an asterisk qualifies as a knee, I laugh.
And speaking of Hulk,
Oh, yeah.
we've hit number 12. I'm telling you.
Is this the end?
I'm gonna when it comes into the shop, I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna read it right then and there. And if they don't tell me who the fuck Red Hulk is, I ain't buying 13. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. 12 fucking issues is too long for such a major character in one huge arc like this to last.
This was a disappointing storyline. The whole Defenders. I mean, I love the use of the Defenders, bringing in people that Hulk considers friends in his own weird way.
Right.
Even though Doctor Strange was one of the ones responsible for World War Hulk,
Right.
which conveniently got forgotten here somehow. But the fights were very quick. The storytelling was very quick. You have cosmic powers happening in the glimmer of an eye. You piss Galactus off for what I can tell is no apparent decent reason.
And you brought back Psycho Man, for God's sake.
Well, who doesn't love Psycho Man?
I don't love Psycho Man.
I'm waiting for the Psycho Man versus D-Man special.
Oh, there's a theme tonight, is there?
Look, I'd buy it.
Dude, you bought Howard the Duck.
Damn right I did.
But at least Red Hulk goes through and he kills every fucking buddy.
Yeah, Red Hulk was very impressive in this one. It was actually nice to see, one of the other Hulks get a head start on Hulk, if you will.
Yeah.
But even that was, fast.
Yeah.
From a storytelling standpoint, this didn't flow as well as I'd like it to.
Nah, it really didn't. But the splash of him on the surfboard, I'm up in there. I'm going to have to flip a coin whether that's one of the cooler things I've seen or if it's one of the silliest.
I think that Ed McGuinness is a great artist.
No, not that I'm not debating.
And I enjoyed the splash just because it was a moment. It was a moment in the story. It wasn't a moment in time.
Yeah, I see.
Like, you're not going to remember that splash blade 10 years from now.
Right.
But at the time, it was, you open it, you're like, oh, that's a great picture. Ed McGuinness drawing the Hulk is definitely a positive.
And then he puts Terrax's axe right through Namor's head, which there's got to be tons of people who have just been so happy to see that. Dude, I like Namor, I do, but he can be such a complete ass so often,
Well, the inability to tell if he's a good guy or a bad guy at any given second is kind of annoying.
And then Galactus is just like, you know what, Hulk? Fuck you. You screwed with my heralds? I don't like that idea.
Well, the main thing for me is I'm very curious to see what happens when Galactus comes for the Hulk later in this book.
Yeah.
I didn't adore the storyline. I don't know that I'd be buying the Hulk for anything other than art, but I do, after the storyline, want to see what happens with the Galactus versus Hulk that's apparently coming. So while I can't endorse it as a read, I do want to know down the line what's going to happen.
And then Red Hulk just takes off. Bye. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't love the book.
Yeah, it's irritating. But the only real shining bright moments for me in these books are Audrey Loeb's little red, blue, green Hulk sketches.
I'm ashamed to say I think those are hysterical.
They are. They're adorable. Green Hulk can't wait for cake. And did you add too much yeast? Uh-oh.
No, those are absolutely hysterical.
I do dig them. One day they'll have to compile just
Who's
those.
writing that book right now?
This is Loeb.
I like Loeb a lot, so I feel kind of bad about bashing that book, but it's not really a full bash. I don't hate it. It's just not as good as I want it to be.
Right. That's exactly where I'm coming from. So, with this new Bat book, I got to make room somewhere. So,
we have several.
That's going to be it. Well, I only got Red Robin because it's the first one.
Well, you're going to do both Paul Dini ones you're making.
Yeah. So I got to make room.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Paul Dini Batman is Batman that you buy.
Dude, it's fucking key, man.
Yeah. Alright,
so
what's next in the
Superman Batman 60. Frankly,
I just
right
wish they
this
called
second,
this World Finest.
Yeah, that would work. It totally would work. I'm trying to remember desperately what this story is all about.
Which should tell you
because I read it. No, well, that and I read it 3 weeks ago. So in a pile of 30 fucking books. So it's easy to get lost in the shuffle at that point.
Don't you want books that you remember 3 weeks later, though?
That's, well, yeah, I want my Batman. That's what I
can
want.
tell you all about Muppet Robin Hood, and I read that several weeks ago.
I don't even know what's happening in this. I mean, it looks like there's action. There's this weird Doomsday thing, Lex Joker. We gotta...
Oh, the alternative universe one.
Yeah, in the parlance of the internet age, it's a mashup.
Is that what they call it now?
Yeah, when you mix things up, instead of calling it a mix-up or a combination, it's all a mashup.
But be fair, the Lex Joker thing in the final splash
That
page,
could be really cool.
and that's the key selling point. Is like everything else is a throwaway. The mixture of heroes, the blue tornado or whatever the hell they decided to put together.
The Lex Joker, I'm so ready for.
And that's the thing is it's a very clever way at the final page of putting the book into a different. You want to read the next issue because Lex Joker is an intriguing mashup.
Yes, he is. So, having established that, the new aliens. Ugh.
The first Aliens miniseries
was mind-boggling.
it was intricate and intriguing art and horrifying,
Yes.
particularly in the black and white. And it was something, it was a horror book based on a concept that worked. It was just a brand new monstrosity, for lack of a better term. And they've slowly watered down.
Yeah.
Dark Horse has tried this with Predator. It's tried this with The Thing, which made for some true comic book abortions, if you ever want to check one out.
But why did they bring this entire team down to the planet and then blow all their heads off? What the hell was the point of that? Why did they spend all those pages establishing all those characters and then literally kill them all on the next fucking page?
Because people are no longer familiar with how fucked up aliens are.
I guess not.
The one thing I like about the Alien series is that it's a thinking horror series. So they bring a philosophy to it that a lot of them don't. Like if you think about the need in the first series, way back in what?
89.
Is it that long?
88, 89.
The need for people to be protected, so they, were falling into habits that allow the aliens to get them, and the whole philosophy behind it, it was very well thought out. And every Alien book, say what you will, has had a thought behind it. It's kind of like the Grendel Tales books.
Yeah, I can see that.
You might not necessarily enjoy it or not, but there's a thought behind the philosophy that somebody was pursuing.
Right.
So, and this has the same one, but it's the first issue. I don't know where they're going with it yet. But I will say that I have evolved somewhat beyond Aliens comic books, for lack of a better term. I read one or two more. I don't know that I'd follow this all the way to the end.
If they can develop it a whole lot further and give me a reason they're protecting this area, which may or may not have aliens in it.
If it evolves the right way, then yeah, it's worth following. I'm not convinced it will, though.
So, we're done with that one.
Alright.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I did not finish Fusion number 1.
No, fuck you. I read it to the end.
Cyberforce, really? Now? These days? Is Cyberforce even a book anymore?
I have no idea.
I don't know if Cyberforce
I hated it when it came out.
I didn't buy the goddamn thing.
I remember Mark Silvestri on the X-Men as an excellent artist. And I remember reading Cyberforce
and thinking...
hate?
And why is Ripclaw the Hulk now?
Dude, why is Rip Claw? I mean, just end there. Take that sentence. Why is Rip Claw? Ballistic? I mean,
I don't mind the art at all.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy makes a Killer Wasp and Black Widow, but I can't. I thought there's so many fucking things. There's so many millions of ways you could go, but really, Cyberforce Avengers. I really didn't know that Cyberforce still existed.
Don't cross over unless you have a point in crossing over.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell if there was something like some pan-dimensional rift, or they were all supposed to be in the same universe to begin with.
It's like JLA, JSA doesn't cross over unless there's a storyline that matches both books.
Right. They have their Thanksgiving episode every year.
Yeah, and that's a retro thing, so they follow up on
Yeah.
it. But
no, if in fact there's ever a number 2,
which is iffy.
it won't be going into my box.
Which I appreciate.
So Battle for the Cal 3. Last one. All done with this. There wasn't really any kind of doubt anywhere along the line that, this last panel was Dick, was it?
Dick Grayson becomes Batman, finally.
And it's about bloody time. I think they really... I saw no point in this mini... this could have been done in Batman and Detective. Maybe one of them had a bigger size.
No, it was a rough storyline. The highlight for me was Black Mask overtaking the gang war.
Now, that I did like. But, again, they didn't have to separate it out. They could have put it in Bat and Detective.
No, there was nothing in this miniseries that couldn't have appeared somewhere else.
Yeah, and that's what drove me up the wall. And another thing that pissed me off is I got one that was fucking printed all fucked up.
Well, not really the book fault so much, but yes, I did notice when I turned the page that
it didn't
half
help.
of it fell out of the book.
It didn't bring my enjoyment factor up too far,
No, plus there are so many characters in the storyline.
I couldn't keep track of who was doing what most of the time.
In a 3-issue miniseries, to have 72 characters vying on one level or another.
And when was the last time you saw what's her face here? Harlequin? Who is it? No, it's Squire.
Squire.
Where the hell has Squire been? And they just bring her in because they had an adventure together once in Brave and the Bold in 68.
I'm not.
That's
familiar with
1960 fucking 8, man. That's older than me. Squire hasn't shown up the entire time I've been reading comics. I had to go look her up on fucking Who's Who, DC Who's Who.
Well, I see. I have no clue who Squire is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why
I
is she
assumed
popping
it was,
up?
some sort of spoiler version.
Yeah. Actually, no, spoiler.
Yeah, not British.
Well, I was really happy to see Jason Todd get the ever-loving shit kicked out of him. Because I didn't like him when he was Robin for real. I have no need for him to ever show up in anything ever again.
He stole the wheels off the Batmobile.
Well, I mean, that's pretty goddamn ballsy, but...
Also dumb.
See?
That's the thing people miss in that whole story. He's tough. Yeah, he's also not British.
Dumb.
Smart
Total
thieves don't
jackass.
rob cop cars.
That's right. So, the final portion of Amazing Spider-Man 24/7, number 594. Man,
I like that you brought Spider-Man back in. The Spider-Man read is a good read.
I told you, I've always dug them. I was waiting for decent stories again.
And of course, you waited till the vomiting mutant vulture.
Yeah, well, that wasn't my fucking fault, was it?
That's what you decided was the solid storyline to jump in on?
I didn't know there was going to be a vomiting vulture, okay? Especially one that doesn't bother talking and looks like a fucking Predator reject.
And is also part vigilante.
Yeah, where the hell was that part coming in? I don't get that. I still don't need, J. Jonah Sr. banging away against... It's almost as bad as Furries, folks. It's...
Well, be fair. Last time Aunt May got in the action, it was an old dude in a wheelchair. Right?
Well, I don't know. Doc Ock might have...
Oh, good God. Alright.
Doc Ock might have gone to town a little bit,
But we know that that Henry guy, when she was running the boarding house,
yes,
in a wheelchair.
Yes.
So now she's got a guy with 2 legs and no octopus arms. So she's slowly moving up the food chain. At one point, John Byrne said that Sue Storm should be the most attractive woman in the Marvel Universe.
Really?
On the evolutionary scale, eventually it'll be Aunt May.
Stop. Okay, we can move on now. It was kind of fun. I got a little giggle out of lousy prison librarian. Here, Adrian, I saved you Birdman of Alcatraz. I got a minor chuckle out of that. I liked it.
No, this is sixth Vulture in a sense.
6?
Well,
Are you counting 2099?
No. But you do have the Vulture.
Yeah.
Then you have the Vulture that his ex-cellmate that took his place.
Oh, yes.
With the cap.
That's right.
Then he had sidekicks who then formed their own group. And now you have the vomiting red vigilante Vulture.
So we're not.
Or as I like to call him, the VRVV.
VRVV, you retard. And this is where civility starts to go out the window, kiddies. But you know, I was like, wait on Spider-Man. I'm there.
It's a fun read.
It is. So we'll see if this whole American Sun thing can follow up with the goodness.
Yeah.
So, The Short Halloween. See, 33 pages for the same price as a normal book. Are they taking a loss? They aren't. They totally aren't.
Well, it's written by a Saturday Night Liver.
It is? Who's that?
Bill Hader.
Oh, really?
Hmm?
I had no idea.
You saw Superbad, right?
Yes.
He's the non-Seth Rogen cop.
Oh, okay. But this is Spider-Man as... I can imagine this being in Spectacular in like 1988.
That book was like a what the... I mean, it was close enough to be accurate and just off enough to be hysterical.
But I can also imagine a certain podcaster running around getting too tanked up and getting mistaken for Spider-Man.
I think you should leave the Notorious B.I.G. out.
Oh, you hear that, Drew? He's fucking with you.
Yes, I did feel there's a possibility that at some point during the storyline, my ass could have fallen into the middle of it.
Well, you know, it's filled with drunks. So, what are you going to do? But they took him home. And how happy were you with the Hunter S. Thompson reference?
That was funny.
Too much fun.
No, it was a good read. It was,
But how creepy was this chick with all the extra mouths everywhere? That freaked me the fuck out.
That's because you dated her.
What? I don't remember that. That's
exactly.
That's a mental block right there. That is one of those psychological tropes that lets you get through horrifying times. What? That never happened. It's like Hawkeye on MASH when he thought the chicken was the child.
There you go.
It helped him deal.
A MASH reference.
But that was amazingly funny to me.
And nice to see McGuire.
Yes, yes. I was actually looking through some original art today, and some of it, as long as it's not from an interesting issue or by a superstar, is actually quite affordable.
Right?
Yeah. I saw some Kevin McGuire stuff today. I was hoping, against hope, to find some, Justice League from the 80s, but that was not meant to be. Although they did have this splash page from I can't believe it's not formerly known as Justice League. I would have bought, if I had $300 extra today, I'd have bought that right then and there. This is the kind of adventure that if there were fucking superheroes and you and I went to a costume party, this would be our life.
There you go.
It would.
No, it was a fun read. I enjoyed it. This is what I want a one-shot to be. Something vaguely interesting that wouldn't happen in a normal book.
And freaking fun.
And funny. I would endorse this book. And Bill Hader, if your mustache-wearing movie career doesn't work out, you step right up to the comic book right away.
Right. We get a little bit serious again. And we're almost done for the evening. Getting close. Green Lantern 36. With the semi-sketch cover, which doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot to a whole hell of a lot of people, but, I liked it. Continuing on through Ismalt and the world of the Red Lanterns and their, pseudo-trial of Sinestro. They've got him pretty much crucified. And, Atrocitus is like, who's in charge now, bitch?
Is the build up to Darkest Night starting to feel like the build up in Nightfall?
Yeah, it really is.
There's a lot.
I need Blackest Night to fucking start now. I need it to get here. But they're having this little philosophical argument, and Sinestro's just like, I ain't fucking worried about it.
I really like the way they're writing Sinestro and the Green Lantern right now.
He has become far, far less a parody of a bad guy than he ever was.
Well, he was such an iconic bad guy, and now they've made him sort of an anti-hero, bad guy mixture. I mean, you have Atrocitus, and what's the name of the Orange Lantern?
Agent Orange.
Thank you. So you have these. Wow, that's atrocious. You have these lanterns that are so much worse that Sinestro now falls into more of a middle ground, which it just makes him such a more interesting character.
Correct.
I mean, plus they're building off of what they did in the Green Lantern War.
Uh-huh. All very true. So, but I don't know, Saint Walker is starting to grate on me a little bit. There's only so much hope and light you can deal with before you're like, okay, I get it. Can we, fucking fight now?
What I think is really impressive about Saint Walker and the Blue Lanterns is how they're just on the edge of religion.
Yeah, just barely.
They hint at the idea of faith without ever, allowing religion to enter into the storyline, thereby alienating or not alienating.
Right. They never step on a soapbox. They never get didactic.
And they use the Blue Lantern. I'm intrigued with how the Blue Lanterns combine with the Green Lanterns. And does that mean that other, what if Agent Orange and Atrocitus combine? What would a red and orange lantern? The combination of rings. I don't know if they're planning on delving into that, but I'm very intrigued. What happens when an orange and a purple ring combine?
Ooh. Oof.
So, even if it's accidentally, they're opening huge storylines with this.
Yeah. But, I like all these oaths. I dig them.
You've always been a big Green Lantern fan.
Oh, yeah. I dig the oath, man. I get a little whenever I read the oath. Because that's somebody promising that they're going to do some shit.
There you go.
But the Blue Lanterns, I can't remember if they had said theirs before, but it's, in fearful day and raging night, with strong hearts full our souls ignite. When all seems lost in war of light, look to the stars, for hope burns bright. That's not too shabby.
No. Although I think we can all assume that short guardians are shitty poets by nature.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently every failed guardian, every guardian is a failed poet. What rhymes with night? Right, light, flight. I'll use all of them. You're a jackass, Ganthit.
See, that's a page I would love to have. If I could find who's got this page where the Vishnu elephant thing is displaying, is reciting the oath, I would take a chance on buying that.
Really?
Yeah, shit, yeah. That's a good page, man.
Use
Don't do it.
superhero elephants.
No, I'm afraid I don't. Killing me. We're
Now,
almost done, right? Yeah, okay.
The next Green Lantern book that you have moves into more Agent Orange, correct?
Yes. So, alright, we've established all kinds of craziness. And, Atrocitus reveals he knows about Sinestro's daughter. And suddenly Sinestro's finally got a oh shit look on his face. Like being crucified wasn't enough for him.
Any man who can wear the Errol Flynn mustache can take a lot of shit. That's all I'm saying.
I did try that once. Didn't work.
No.
Totally didn't work. I tried a pencil mustache once. Oh my god. Alright, so that brings us to Green Lantern 41, which I know is a bit of a skip, but I was able to find 36 in the back issue box at the huge moving sale at Kurt's because in Connecticut it's Kurt's.
Oh, the whore. The whore.
So, Agent Orange gets a bit of a spotlight, and he starts lecturing the green and blue Hal Jordan for a while.
Now, how do you feel about Agent Orange? The idea of one ring that has only one user that consumes others instead of multiple greedy orange.
Well, they established it pretty well. I mean, he pretty much eliminated all the others with the power of his own greed and took control of them, so that anything their little orange shades acquire become his. So that I don't know if I can say it's quite innovative,
I like it,
but I did dig it.
I definitely like the idea that they picked one color and went with something totally different.
Right.
Pretty much every other, what they have, 7 rings now?
Yeah.
And of those 7 rings, most of them are a group of different people with the same personality traits taking on that ring. Then you hit orange and you get this little, fuck you, I just eat you and turn you into one of my ring bearers. And it's just it's a very different idea.
Where the hell are they going with the rest of them? I mean, we've had little, one...
Into Blackest Night.
Well, eventually, but Jesus, when?
I like a book.
I need to see far more Lavender Lanterns. And I never, on all the time I've been on this planet, ever thought I'd say a sentence like that.
I like a book that evolves slowly. Like, the whole thing, for me, with epics, is that you have to tell a story that's interesting. And that's one of the things that the Green Lantern books have basically done. It's the opposite of Grant Morrison, who I like in many books. But when Grant Morrison was on JLA or some of the other books, he'd have these huge events, and he'd tell 2 issues worth of storytelling in 4 panels.
Right.
I don't appreciate that.
No. I can't get with it either.
And then, of course, you have the big splash at the end of this book.
It's not that I'm really getting impatient with it. I'm getting excited.
Which is a good thing.
I want to know. I want to see who else does what.
Now, we are spoiler cast, kiddies, so this would be spoiler time. At the end of this book, how do you feel about what happens?
So, who was it? Was it St. Walker? No. What am I thinking? Hey, that's what drinking does to you, kids.
It makes you happy
Agent
and fun.
Agent Orange
and
just
smoking is cool.
Takes that fucking hand right off of Hal like Peter David did to Aquaman. And he's like, I want what I want. So yeah, that was some crazy shit. What he's gonna he took the blue one, so he has no way to reinforce. Now Hal not only may bleed out, but he has no way to reinforce his green ring to really give, Agent Orange a run for his money.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to a fight between Hal and Agent Orange.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be some knockdown, drag out shit. And you're dropping your mic again.
God fucking damn! I'm technologically minded, people. That's why I'm a reverend.
What was that about? Drinking being fun?
It is.
So, we're looking forward to all kinds of Green Lantern goodness.
Very excited about Blackest Night.
Unfortunately, we then turn around and we go to one of Dwayne McDuffie's last issues because the poor fucker got fired.
No shit.
Yeah. He was spoiling things a little too much. People didn't like the idea of him talking about internal politics of the company and how he really couldn't write the book very well because he was constantly being interrupted by events. So they're like, hey, Dwayne, see you later.
Yeah. Good rule of thumb, kiddies, is don't share shit the company doesn't want you to share.
The other rule is don't shit where you eat. So, Dr. Light is still inside
The Shadow Thief.
the Shadow Thief. And, John Stewart, Vixen, Firestorm, and Zatanna are still trying to get him back.
Dude, what kind of C league is John Stewart,
Yeah.
Firestorm, Vixen, and Zatanna?
Yeah, that's pretty C. I mean,
honestly, I'd rather have Metamorpho, Red Rocket,
Fire,
and Animal
Ice.
Man on my side. You take Zatanna out of there, they have all the... Firestorm was powerful, he wasn't a douchebag.
Well, he's just a young, naive dork. He's not really a douchebag, so it's as such. So, but they're trying to get somewhere with him.
They've done that a couple times. Do you remember that Starman storyline where they killed him?
No. What was that?
Starman had a villain, decided before she went after him, she had to figure out how to kill superheroes.
Ah.
She killed off the Silver Fox and a couple others. Made a hole in the Firestorm, so he had to fly off. Took out one version of Blue Devil.
Really?
One actually died because comics.
Alright, so Hardware is infiltrating an area.
Hardware.
Hardware.
You can't get enough of those milestones.
He meets up with the C team, and they decide that for the moment, just for the moment, they'll team up. They go back. Dr. Light is getting past her fear of the dark. She starts finding things out. And they have a big, long, 4-page debate between the C team and Hardware about, who really needs to do what and how they're going to get in there. And I don't know, 4 pages? Really?
Who doesn't read comics to see debates between superheroes?
Well, that depends. Are you reading Bendis?
All the time.
I love Bendis to death, but there's occasionally points where his dialogue is just like, okay, are you done? Because I read Alias yesterday.
Oh, what did you think?
I did dig it, but the whole, I'm going to make a statement. What? I'm going to reiterate that statement. What? I'm going to elaborate on that statement. What? That started to grate a little bit on me.
The first graphic of Alias, I spent most of the time going, where are you going to go with this book? Like, I don't hate it. I'm curious, but I got no clue where the end-all evolution of this is.
No.
But it had a fake Rick Jones, which is just hysterical.
That was funny. That's and the way she trapped the gay husband.
Yeah.
Gets a little information out of him about how weird a character like the fake Rick Jones could be, and then tells her to go home to his wife.
I like how she ended up liking him and then just dropped the bomb on him because she got all uncomfortable with the whole philosophical.
Yeah. But then they finally get into the factory or the headquarters or whatever the fuck it is. And Vixen starts talking to the Anansi totem keeper, and that kind of bored me a little bit. And then they bring in Paladin, and I gotta tell you, what? Paladin's Bruce? What?
Paladin, of course, we recently read in Heroes for Hire.
Which is a whole different company. So this is not the same Paladin.
But hey, you get one Paladin, you get them all. Oh, you're talking the Western.
Yeah.
That made no
is he
sense
supposed to be
whatsoever.
Zorro or a fucking swashbuckler? What the hell is he dressed as? There's too much shadow in here. I can't tell what's going on.
Well, there's the Shadow Cat.
Well, yeah, there is that. But and then they finally, way the fuck on page like 20, find Starbreaker.
Are you familiar with Starbreaker?
Barely.
I'm not.
And then he gets like 2 punches in from Icon, and I don't even know who the hell he knocked down. Who is this?
Since I can't see what you're looking at.
Who is that on the ground? Who is that?
That is Dharma, the mystical leader of the Shadow Cabinet.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, but where? I mean, where has he been sitting?
Well, if you look on the cover, you can see him fighting.
Yeah, but I didn't
It even says,
catch any of that inside.
That's because it's not there, but you know. It is on the cover, I believe it says Starbreaker versus Dharma.
It does. For everything. Like like it was for a marble.
Well, apparently, based on that, Starbreaker won everything.
And then apparently he's the one holding the universe together, and now there's Earths converging again. Like, we need more fucking parallel Earths in DC. They finally decided, you know what, there's just one. And then they said, well, we kind of fucked that up. Let's reunify the timeline. Years later, they kind of said, you know, I think we fucked it up again. We better have another event. And then they split it again into only 52 Earths. Guys.
One Earth a week. I think that's fair.
Well, that's almost what 52 was. Although I never finished that because that was one of my drier comic periods, and I just couldn't hack it. You know, I got the first 12, and I'm like, I can't get to the shop anymore. It's 40 fucking miles round trip to get to the shop. You know, who can do that? That's nobody. That pause means nobody.
I didn't realize you wanted, I thought that was rhetorical.
For the end of the night, we're going to finish up with New Avengers 53.
When did Doctor Strange become an Avenger, actually?
Well, I think it's more along the lines of a team-up of convenience than an actual... one of those.
Well, my thing is that the last couple of New Avengers have had more to do with Doctor Strange than almost any other character.
Well, they got to put him somewhere. He doesn't have his own book anymore.
And why is that? Oh, because he's a 70s character who wears a basically pantsuit.
Well, you know, Bendis, my man, him and Spidey. Oh, God, they should just throw him on fucking Amazing and let him play till the streetlights go out.
He does write an excellent Spider-Man.
Hey, Luke, man, about that thing with me and your wife before, you know, about her being in love with me in high school, I swear I did not know this. I swear. I mean, she's cute and all, and that fucking glare, it's just like, dude, you're seconds away from getting pounded, man. Seconds! But don't you worry, man. I believe in the statutes of, or the institution of marriage. Yeah, the institution. I'm all about it. So don't you worry about me or anything like that. Thumbs up? But you and Iron Fist broke up, right? Because I'd like to take a shot at that action. Clint, land the damn plane!
The Spider-Man...
That's fucking brilliant, man.
Spider-Man, Power Man interaction is excellent. It has been from the very get-go. When they're talking about booties in the first storyline.
Yeah.
Booties? Well, what do you call it? A boot?
And then Madam fucking Mask again with the
hood.
The RPGs.
Well, the hood came out of a miniseries from a couple years ago.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you read it?
No.
No?
But why would she take only an HK-92 against Wolverine? I mean, she should have been using like an M60, man.
Well,
She already had an RPG. Hi.
Well, to quote Tony Stark's comments in Avengers Illuminati about Madame Mask, she looks like Dr. Doom. Why would you sleep with someone who looks like Dr. Doom? Let's move on.
And she pulls out the RPG again. She was ready to take them all out, man. She had things all over. She had gas canisters. Nobody could tell what's going on. She goes up against Spider-Woman and essentially, hands her the smack down.
The thing about this whole Hood storyline is that instead of kind constantly bringing more villains in. He's just sort of stopped with a relatively mediocre grouping. Like, I've got Chemo and the Wrecker and the rest of the Wrecking Crew. What more do I need? Maybe guys that aren't douchebags.
But I'm still not really happy about Damon Hellstrom being back. I got no need for this.
Hellstrom, Brother Voodoo, they're bringing them all in.
Dude, but yeah. So that brings us straight past the remaining 10 pages. Thank you very much. And, you know, Dormammu's there and he wants the eye and blibbity blah. And they got this poor old fat New Orleans lady being assaulted by, you know, Madame Mask. And then there's an explosion. And, oh, look. Jericho Drum is the new Sorcerer Supreme.
But will it last?
Brother fucking Voodoo. Oh my god. Now, generally speaking, I like Philip Tan. But what is he doing with that hand right there? That hand right there. Brother Voodoo's hand. That big one right there. Right out in the open of everything. What is going on with that hand? Is he quadruple fucking jointed? What the frig?
Wow, that's actually horrible.
He was doing great right up till that last page.
Normally I don't judge a lot on the art. I try not to pick on guys and as individuals, but that hand is in fact atrocious. Not gonna lie. But, you know, if it were an alien vulva, it would look fine.
Oh, God.
So...
What? No. Stop.
I say potato, Tech Jedi says vulva.
You know what, kids? That's an appropriate stopping point. We hope you enjoy your books for the week. For God's sake, email us. Let us know that somebody's listening to that goddamn thing. We broke 2,000 downloads for one dozen episodes.
Excelente.
That's not too shabby, considering there's been absolutely no promotion from the rest of the universe.
We are the unloved.
I've done the best I can to tell everyone on the goddamn planet about this thing.
I have not.
Yeah, which might explain something. But www.themeangeek.com, iTunes, The Mean Geek, Podcast Alley, The Mean Geek, our forums on thecomicforums.com, where you'll find 10 entries with exactly one reply, and that one was by me.
You replied to your own entry?
I did, in fact.
Wow.
I had to see something besides zeros in that reply column, man.
Kids, you can also reach me at the Reverend Mad Duck at hotmail.com if you would like religious or
sacrilegious.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Commentary, then send me a line and I'll bring it up on the website.
Our general email is themeanergeek@gmail.com because some nuthatch already claimed the Mean Geek. Can you believe that?
Yes.
How?
It's weird, therefore somebody had to have liked it.
Yes. On that note,
everybody have a good night.
Good night, everybody.